Hello, hello, my friends. My name is Oliver Tingling from Cami, and I am really excited to show you today on how to get started with Google Classroom. When it comes to Google Classroom, my friends, we all know that it is an amazing hub for housing all of our assignments for our students for whatever subject that we need to. But we often run into the similar problem that we always run into. How do we communicate properly with our students? How can we effectively leave messages to and from our students? How can we allow our students to write over the top of whatever notes that they want to write? How do we monitor our students' work all in real time? And that is where Cami steps in as that ultimate all-in-one digital classroom sidekick that allows for you to take any of those files that you want to create in a Google Classroom and have it show off with the amazing annotation tools that we have within our platform. It allows for you to not sacrifice any of your workflow when it comes to creating your Google Classroom assignments. It can save you time. And this is something that most students are already familiar with using. So the learning curve would not be an issue at all for any of your students. So I'm really excited to really highlight and showcase how you can connect the amazing tools of Cami right into Google Classroom. First and foremost, the most important thing you need to really marry the two platforms together is making sure that you have the Cami Chrome extension, or if you're using Microsoft Edge, you have the Edge extension to download into your browser. Once you do that, you will have access to what's called the Cami dashboard. By simply clicking on the Cami extension again, you open up Cami and it takes you to this amazing dashboard. Now, this is where you can go ahead and make sure that your profile is properly set up as well. And there's a reason why we want to talk about making sure your profile is properly set up when you get here. So just a quick little pro tip, just double check that your profile is properly set up by clicking on your initials on the upper right-hand corner of the Cami dashboard. And then just make sure you go to settings, and you want to visit profile. And you want to make sure that your profile says that you're using it for school. If you're a teacher, you're using it as a teacher, and that your LMS shows up as Google Classroom. And if it doesn't, all you have to do is just quickly change your profile and select the option of yes, you're using a learning management system, and choose Google Classroom and hit finish. Now, there's a great benefit to doing this at the very end, and I'm going to show you why, but just make sure that you do have your profile set up correctly. Now, it is very, very easy to create or open up an assignment within Cami to get yourself started. Maybe you want to remix a file, maybe remix a document to go ahead and send off to your students. And the way how you can get started here, you can open up a file through either your Google Drive or your computer, or if you're using OneDrive, you can also do that as well. We also have an amazing Cami library. If you are not a great design person, or you just need some inspiration to get started, you can also check out the Cami library, where we have over 2,300 templates that you can pick and choose from. So you really do have a lot of options. So I'm going to go ahead and grab something directly from my computer, and I'm going to open up the one-step equations with fractions and decimals, and we're going to open up this brand new copy here. And as you can see, I have this document that I've scanned beforehand, and now it's on my Cami platform. And I now have the option to use any of my tools and drop it right onto the document, setting up the stage for my students. I could even start off by having this document here within Cami and showing it off to my students. And you know what? If I don't want to have any distractions for my students, because sometimes they can get a little bit distracted with all of the different tools going on, we do have this amazing feature to click into presentation mode where we can just get rid of all of the other things and we're just focusing on this. This is great if I want to project my screen to my students and we're working on things together. I have the ability to change the pages very quickly. And just as of recent, friends, we can now zoom in within presentation mode. So if you don't want to have though the negative space, we can kind of fill that up with that presentation mode. Within there, you also have a laser pointer that you can change the colors on. So, for any students that need those visuals, really great. We also have the ability to write while you're in presentation mode. Really amazing stuff, changing the colors in there as well. You can also highlight any of the text or any of the features that are within the document. And then you can hide your comments. You can erase any of the annotations that you've set up. And at any point, if you need to get out, you can just hit the escape button or hit the symbol at the very top for exiting out of presentation mode. So now that you've had the opportunity to, set the stage with leaving instructions with either your text box, or maybe you're leaving a text comment or a voice comment or a video comment explaining how you would like the work to be done, now we are getting to a point where you can create a Google Classroom assignment. Now, there are 3 different ways that you can create a Google Classroom assignment, and I'll show you all 3 today. The first one, remember when we talked about setting up your profile the right way? When you hit the share button, okay? When you hit the share button, it should automatically save a copy of your work either on your Google Drive. If you're using OneDrive, it'll save it there. But what setting up that profile allows us to assign to the students within Google Classroom. And I can create the assignment directly from this Cami doc. This is a really great way to utilize the assignment sharing if you're remixing something directly from Cami. So I will create the assignment right from there. And you'll go ahead and name your assignment what it's supposed to be: math greatness. Okay. Everybody gets their own copy. You can leave instructions there, and you can still select your class, get your points, your due date, your topic. All of those things can still, be true there. But what I want to also show you, Cami has the ability to restrict certain tools. And within Google Classroom, you have that ability to do that per assignment. So within the Google Classroom and you creating this assignment, there's a button here that says feature control. And within that feature control, it allows for you to select what tools you want your students to use or not use, just like that. So for me, I teach math. I don't want my students utilizing the stickers right now or any of those other things that might distract them. So I will go ahead and eliminate those tools. And I can always change those tools back. And I'll show you what I mean by all of that in a little bit. But when I'm ready to create that assignment, I'll go ahead and I'll hit assign, and the assignment will then be officially created for me. Now, for me to check my work, for me to check the assignment, I can just simply go to classwork here, and I can just look for my assignment that I created. And whenever you're going into the assignment, you typically will see the Google Classroom assignment looking very much like this right now, where it's not very interactive. But with the click of this grade with Cami button, now it's opened up all of the Cami tools. And that's where the extension, my friends, really comes into play. Now, this is what I was used to. This was the workflow I was used to when I was in the classroom many years ago. And since then, my friends, we have really stepped our game up with how we can check our students' work and be more efficient with that checking of the work. Because of the extension, we now have this feature called Open Class View, and Open Class View will now give you the ability to see all of your students' work all at the same time on one page. Now, this is amazing, and it takes it to another level because it doesn't have to just be homework assignments that you're giving your students. You can assign now a classwork assignment. Hey, go ahead and get this work done here in this particular time. And because you have the power of class view, you can look at what every single student is doing within that assignment. You can see if they've returned the work. You can see if it's been assigned or if it's been turned in. You can filter it down. If you only want to view a certain set of students based on a certain submission status, you can do that as well. What I love about this class view, friends, is that it does give us a lot more options of things that we can do. We're talking about saving time. Guess what? I can go ahead and grade my students' work right there within the class view. Right there. I don't have to go back to Google Classroom and grade my work there. I'm doing everything there. And I can return my work to my students within class view, saving me so much time. I can return it all to them. If I decided I wanted to change my mind on the tools, I will always have the power to change the tools that I want to change by simply clicking on the assignment settings here and going back to feature control. And I now have the ability to change up those tools even after I've highlighted or assigned it to them. Another exclusive feature in Google Classroom is that you have the ability to provide this to individual students. You can also do feature control for individual students. So there's no more of the days where you have to create a separate assignment for just those kids. You can do everything all in one and grade everything all in one assignment. Gotta love that Google Classroom. Now, friends, I have been there where I have made mistakes when I've assigned my work to my students. I've been there. And most of the times I've had to just delete the assignment and redo it and just be mad at myself. And I want to say, you don't have to do that. Because of this great feature that we have here called Edit Assignment, you can actually go back and make your edits and push it out to your students anytime you want. So this little toggle right here, or if you're looking in Google Classroom, there's a little Edit Assignment button there. You can click on that and it will take you to where you can make those particular edits. So if I want to move this little triangle someplace else, I can go ahead and move it there. I can move the smiley face to number 3, and then I hit update all, and it will go ahead and push out those changes, even if the students started to work on the document. So if you know, this is great if you want to cover up something, you want to maybe have it like an extra credit thing. Okay, you can see I've made all the moves have been made right there. And at any point, if I want to individually click on any student's annotation and get rid of it, I do have the ability to do that. If I want to challenge a student on a particular problem, and you know what, you can do this problem. You do that. I talked to you about 3 different places where you can create Google Classroom assignments. I showed you the first where you can just hit the share button, right? Your profile is all set up. You have the create assignment there. Okay. The other way you can go about it is through the Kami dashboard, where you can just go ahead and click on Google Classroom assignment right there. And then, of course, the traditional way, you can also go right to Google Classroom, hit the blue create button, and then make sure, this is a great way to know if you have the extension or not. Make sure you hit Kami assignment when you are hitting that create button right over there, my friends. Those are the 3 ways that you can get access into creating those Google Classroom assignments. And when you are in the dashboard and you're getting more into your assignments. Another great feature of the dashboard here is that it's actually going to show you all of your latest assignments, all of your most recent assignments. So instead of having to shift through Google Classroom and find what was the most recent thing that you were working on, I can just go right here to the Kami dashboard and immediately go back to whatever I was working on very quickly within the dashboard. Now, I really hope that this quick tutorial on how to utilize Google Classroom was very helpful. I really think that it's a game changer having all of the tools of Kami and having that integration with Google Classroom, keeping that organization, making having an interactive environment for your students, and really empowering the students to want to learn more. I think is why I'm so passionate about what I do on a daily basis here and why I screamed Kami from the mountaintops. So I hope you did learn something really great today. And I look forward to hearing about how do you use Kami in the classroom, particularly with Google Classroom. I look forward to seeing you on the next time around. I wish you all peace and blessings. Take care, y'all.